Yenda, Barimini. Guys, I think we all have been waiting in anticipation the arrival of Floyd Shivambu in the MK political party. We were all guessing as to what position are they going to give him. We said he probably is going to be the Secretary General. Some said no, he's probably going to be the national chairperson. Well, the MK political party created a special position for Floyd Shivambu, and that is a national organizer. Well, he's doing exactly what we said he was coming to do in the MK, to build the structure of MK, to build the branches from the bottom up. And some people have got the opinion that no better person in South Africa is suited for this job. Floyd Shivambu also made his opening speech, and I want to speak about some of the key issues that he touched on. Let's talk about that and much more. Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Because we believe that what stands between us and what we want to do is our inability to unite. It's the oppressed failing to unite. It's people who are unable to do what is right and unite around a principle, regardless of their differences. It's actually why the system sustains itself. It's because the system always throws our own against us, and we allow ourselves to differ about little things and forget about big things. And our biggest enemies as we sit in this room now, if I ask you to close your eyes and think, what is the biggest problem in South Africa? Who are our biggest problems in South Africa? I bet you won't think of Magnus Malan. You won't think of B.J. Foster. You won't think of Adrian Flock. You would think of people like yourself that you've created in your mind as your enemy, when actually it's the system that put us here, and we must be able to do something about it.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And of course, we are covering the long-awaited arrival of Floyd Shivambu in the MK political party. What a press conference. A lot have been said in this press conference from the Secretary General, who is Dr. Sifiso Maseko, and also Jacob Zuma blessed us with a speech. I will cover that later on today. But now I want to cover on what Floyd Shivambu said. I mean, we were so focused as to why is it that Floyd feels it is necessary to move from the EFF as a deputy president of the political party that he formed, as a member of parliament. You know, he had everything that anyone can ask for in a political party. It's a political party that had a foundation of youth, meaning that their future is secured if they can keep that youth in it. Why is it that they moved to the MK political party? Floyd gave us an idea as to that. He spoke about what actually Jacob Zuma, the chess master, is doing. And he broke it down so well for us. Listen to this.
What President Zuma is doing with Mkondo Wesizwe party is what the statement of Mkondo Wesizwe did in 1961 on the 16th of December. To say that now that the liberation movement has been banned, what other platform do we express ourselves? What other instrument do we use to fight for total liberation? There is absolutely no doubt that the liberation movement is no longer existing in the form that it's supposed to do. It has been captured totally. It is directed from elsewhere. And then this is a platform. And what is unique about Mkondo Wesizwe party is a purposeful, foundational approach and principle, is to assemble people who can govern society to come and govern society in South Africa. It's not wishful thinking to say that we've got these ideas of what we're going to do. Is to assemble the best of the best. So if you were to check even with the people that have been identified now, the first consignment that is going to the National Assembly, if you go to check their track record objectively and not bled by these nonsense of right-wing media platforms, you will accept that the contributions that Brian Molefe did in the public investment corporations, in Transnet, in Eskom, you will appreciate the contributions that Esiyabonga Gama did and contributed in Transnet, stable organizations.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a true Pan-Africanist, well, let me not say Pan-Africanist because sometimes this word scares you, some of you, my African brothers. If you are a true person who is pro-Africa, who wants to see Africans win their land back, win their economy back, deep down in your heart, you would love to see the progressive political parties uniting as one. What Jacob Zuma is doing here, Floyd Shivambu is saying, is to fight for the total liberation of the people. I mean, we all want it. Who does not want total liberation? Because now we have understood that liberation comes in stages. There's stage one where you get liberated and you get only freedom of movement and freedom of speech. And, you can't touch the minerals, you can't touch strategic sectors, you can't touch the financial sector, the agricultural sector. It's not total liberation. What Jacob Zuma is trying to do is to give us total liberation, according to what Floyd is saying. And he's saying, listen, let's gather the best amongst us. Let's get this one. Let's get that one. We know this one is good in this. King is good in this. Let's gather these guys and then let's make sure that we have the best camp here to lead the nation. Guys, all of us, to be honest, we want to see all of these parties won. Deep down, you want to see the EFF join the MK. You want to see the ATM join the MK. You want to see the National Colored Congress join the MK. All of these progressive left-wing parties, you want them to be one. But to put all of these positions away and come there and serve is difficult. And Floyd Shivambu has truly broke it down well for me. He said, listen, we are misled by the mainstream media. It blinds us and shows us that those who rise up are the enemies.
Commissioner, there have been a lot of things which were misled about for a very long time, that everyone else who is not a puppet of the establishment is enemy of the people. That is not the case. And people will think that I'm saying this because I'm on this platform now only. You can check the public statements and writings and articles and even interviews that we did when we came to the realization that for a very long time we misled in terms of our characterization of society. They said there's capture because they were no longer in control of key state institutions. The white capitalist establishment was no longer in control, and then they said there's a crisis. If there was truly a crisis, why is that crisis not there now? Can they show us the crisis which they said existed before? So to assemble the best of the best amongst black people to govern society is a best decision. And to associate with that is a best and sound decision. People who can govern, it's as simple as that. If you say that who amongst ourselves is the best, and then you say, let's assemble those who can demonstrate that they've got capacity to run otherwise very complex and huge institutions, who are not going to collaborate with the establishment and switch on electricity on and off and say it's load shedding because there's a crisis of this and that. People who are genuine and real and have never done anything wrong. And of course will be criminalized for one reason or another. I agree that we should unite all the progressive forces into common agenda, because this thing of small unviable political parties is not sustainable for the future of black people in South Africa. It's not sustainable at all. We can't, and the temptation as well, and I'm not characterizing the EFF, is that when you have got multiple of these, like they end up being fiefdoms of individuals. IFP, UDM kind of arrangement, what is it to achieve with that?
I mean, I've told you guys so many times that, listen, everyone, including myself, who is not a puppet to mainstream media and to this white monopoly capitalists, we are considered as an enemy. I mean, some of the things that are happening, and it started happening way last year already in my podcast, in terms of, how do I put it? Life-threatening situations that I have not spoken about on camera. Once you rise up and you want to build black people up, you are an enemy to the white monopoly capitalists, and they will attack you left and right. And sadly, is that they use your own kind to attack you. Mom, you know, isita somto mnyama, umto mnyama. I remember those words. Zaga untole uvusi tembekwayo. I mean, state capture. We were made to believe that Jacob Zuma was the worst president ever. Everything was going wrong in his time. Everything was worse. And white media forced us to say, get this Cyril Ramaphosa to be your president. Everything is going to be right. Guys, or really? Have you seen the price of electricity? Have you seen the unemployment number? Now, Stats South Africa has been said that they have given the wrong count in terms of the population count. I mean, what is going on in South Africa right now? Have you seen the petrol price, the bread price, the normal everyday household food basket? Have you seen how much people who are working are not affording? People who are working can't afford. It was normal to get paid and then struggle to the next payday. But right now we get paid for hours. It's no longer we get paid for 1 day or 2 days. We get paid today. You pay rent, you pay this account. This money goes back to white monopoly capitalists this quick. Now the question was, if during Jacob Zuma it was state capture, then what is it that we have now? Can somebody tell us? What is it that we have now? Jacob Zuma is no longer there. Brian Molefe is no longer there. Muloto is no longer there. Montana is no longer there. Then what is it now? You were complaining about these people. You took over. You then gave Eskom to Andre the Raider, who killed Eskom because of the complexion of protection. For me, it's funny what is going on. And Floyd says, listen, we have to, as African people, have to take our egos and put them aside and serve the nation.
When all of us can set aside our very strong egos and say, I don't have to be a member of parliament, I don't have to be a deputy president. I can come and be led by a collective, like, and be subjected to a collective and be asked to go and organize branches of MKP from scratch and not be a member at a high level. That is the principle that we're dealing with. And that is what we're here for, in terms of, and so that there's not even confusion. By the way, we spoke about the unification of all progressive parties with President Zuma last year, October, before the official announcement of Mkondo's as a party. And I was amongst those that said that let us go and contest elections as separate political parties. We'll contest each other on the ground, but we'll come back to talk about what do we do moving forward. So the attempt for unification is not just an opportunistic one because there were electoral declines of the EFF and all of those things. It's a genuine political discussion, which all South Africans must enter into, those who are in favor of the revolution. Because revolution is the content of what we're standing for. It's not just, no, if it's me, you are betraying me. You know, some people will say, you are betraying me. Where does that enter? And you don't even once suggest that I'm betraying the revolution. I will never betray the revolution. Because we're not in the business of trying to please each other's egos here. We're in the business of building a revolutionary movement that is going to emancipate the black majority and Africans in particular, and we're unapologetic about that. That is what we stand for.
Guys, let me tell you something. The most difficult thing for men to do is to put their ego aside. Men have got pride. All men are supposed to see themselves as alpha males. They are the one who's serving. They don't see themselves as secondary. They always want to be the leader of the party. And I'm not speaking necessarily about Julius Malema. I'm just saying that is the nature of men. We are territorial in nature. That's how God made us. Now, to find men that can come and say, listen, I'm putting my ego aside. Like Floyd is saying, I don't have to be a member of parliament. I don't have to be in any position. You can ask me to come and build the branches from scratch. Building branches from scratch. Pella, building branches from scratch with a party that is small is way different. I mean, in the context of the EFF and the MK, the numbers of the MK, the opposition party, the official opposition party in South Africa, you are starting with big numbers. Some might say, okay, it's easy because the numbers are already there. It's difficult because it's about quality over quantity. You have to get the correct leadership placed in each branch so that branch can stay alive. You know, the ANC arguably have got more numbers than any other political party. But look at the quality in the branches. There's no quality. So it's going to be a very difficult task for Floyd Shivambu to run with this thing. And the unification of black parties, we can never stop to talk about that. For me, honestly speaking, I thought that this is going to be an MK working with the EFF type of a situation. Floyd said no. They met before the elections and said, listen, let's contest the political parties, the elections separately. But after the elections, let's reconcile and talk about how do we take this mission of total liberation of our people forward. That's so important for me. But it's a difficult ask. It's a very difficult ask. And, you know, some people will then say, you have betrayed other people. But Floyd says, I have never betrayed the movement. Interesting words. Interesting word. Of course, he's referring to his situation in Julius Malema. But he's saying, listen, I have never betrayed the revolution. I know what I stand for. So in the MK party, there's no friendship. Jacob Zuma told them in their meeting, said, listen, guys, there's no friendship. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, we're going to kick you out.
And President Zuma, when he was inducting all of us yesterday, he says that we might be friends or we might think we're friends, but friendship won't apply here. If you do not do these things right, you're going to be taken care of appropriately. Some people were asking me that what is going to happen because in MKP leadership changes every week and all of those things. What if they change? I say, like, if I'm removed as national organizer, I'm going to be a member. And if I'm removed as a member, I'm going to be a volunteer and put posters even without the approval of the leadership. I'm not here for opportunistic purposes. And that is what we are all about. I think all of us, all the progressive forces, let's unite and build this movement. There is no dictatorship. There is political discussions. In all the times that we've got to interact with President Zuma, he has the patience to have political and ideological discussions to persuade people about how do we move forward. He does not stand to subjectively gain anything out of that. It's not like he's subjectively going to gain anything out of it. He had said that let's unite all the progressive forces so that we can build a solid movement that will take us forward. Otherwise, the other things that are said are not worth responding to. We're going to go to the ground. Let's coexist, all of us, and then let's persuade each other. Let's build the MKP as a party which is going to take over government of South Africa. Thank you very much.
Now, one thing we have to understand is that we honestly, before the policies, the constitution and everything, we joined the party because of a particular person. Many of you said on the comment section, King, I joined the EFF because of Julius Silo Malema and not because of Floyd Shivambu. You are not quoting the 7 pillars of the EFF. You are quoting a person. It's the same thing in the MK party. People have got confidence in this old man called Jacob Zuma. They are joining that party. They joined that party without any branch, without any office, without any constitution, without any, any structure, nothing. Just because Jacob Zuma's name was there, people joined that political party. You can't tell me otherwise. Even up to now, the constitution is not concluded. They still have interim structure, interim this and everything, which is okay because this party is fairly young. This party will be young up until the next local election, and it's already the 3rd biggest political party in South Africa. On the next what do you call them? In the next election, it will be bigger than all the other parties. In the national elections, it will be bigger. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm more interested into what Floyd said. He said, Jacob Zuma honestly stands to gain nothing out of this. Let me elaborate on what he meant. Jacob Zuma is a former state person, meaning his transport is taken care of for life. Security taken care of for life. Accommodation taken care of for life. He's got, he still has a pension money. He's still traveling around, allowance here and there. He can honestly sit down and say, I tried to save these guys. They don't listen. Let me just chill and enjoy the last few years of my life with my family. Because Zuma is a lucky 82-year-old who's still in a fairly good health. Not great health, not the best health, but fairly in good health. You understand? So for me, it's like he stands nothing to gain here. And really, he can stand aside and let the young lions run. But he refused. He said, listen, I'm going to use my power, my character, my attractiveness of the brand Jacob Zuma, and I'm going to make sure I propel my African people to total liberation. We have to respect it. We have to respect it. Because just imagine if there was no MK. Just imagine. The ANC would be stronger. The ANC will still be ruling in Gauteng. The ANC will be still ruling in KwaZulu-Natal, meaning that the ANC will still be ruling in the country. If there was no MK. The MK stopped everything. The EFF was obviously going to improve, but improve up to what? 3rd place again? You understand what I'm saying? Jacob Zuma is saving this country. Is saving this country. I so wish that these parties can put away their, I can't even say put away their differences, because there's no differences into these left-wing progressive parties. They've got the same objective. They've got the same enemy. They are pan-Africanist in nature. I mean, I love what is happening in these progressive parties. We love the EFF, yeah? We love the EFF. We love the spirit of EFF. We love the MK. We just wish that before 2029, these parties can sit down, man. can sit down. We want to vote for one party. We don't want to further split the black vote. That is my opinion. I want to hear what's your opinion on the comment section. And please don't forget, guys, that we are busy with a big project, a project that is going to outlive us. That is PASETA, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. That is an African independent school that is an alternative to the mainstream education system. We are saying our African children need to learn in an African way, taught by Africans, the African culture, the African morals, the way we Africans do things. And we want the spirit of excellence in PASETA. So I would like to thank everyone that has contributed their 50 Rand. I've continuously said we as Africans have to show that in unity there's power. And if we don't build our own institutions, we will leave nothing behind. I will keep on saying this each and every video. If we don't build institutions, we are as good as nothing. Build our own towns, build our own tourism industry, build our own schools, build our own universities, build our own army bases, build everything that we need to survive, build our agricultural sector, build our financial sector. When a pandemic comes, do we have pharmaceutical companies that are black owned that can produce new vaccines? That's the question that is very important. So PASETA is one of those organizations that we are building. The first step to say, guys, let's start with the educational system, because we need to decolonize the minds of our children and put them in a position where they have a better start than us. That's all I'm going to say. Please, here's the details on the screen. Make sure you send us a WhatsApp if you want to be part of the community of PASETA. I will add you in a WhatsApp group. We call it the Community Hub, where we discuss different things, different topics regarding building this school together. Your expertise will be highly appreciated. So please send us this WhatsApp, or alternatively, you can send us a message on our website, that is PASETA, at PASETA, www.paseta.co.za, www.paseta.co.za. Send us a message there. We will reply and consolidate you guys so that we can add you guys to our groups. Thank you so much to everyone that has contributed to PASETA once more. May God bless you. May you never lack in the area of finance for contributing to this African school. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.